Not everything must be beautiful and good. You need to apply some damage to your brain with our game. Thank you very much.
What's up, guys? Nolan here, and today we're going over some expectations for the upcoming hotfix, which should probably be called a patch if they're adding new things, but I guess the word patch is too tied into large amounts of new content, so we'll go ahead and call it a hotfix, I guess. BSG just tweeted out this list of what they are currently working on, so here's some details on what's what. Binaural audio is obviously a big one. The sound is in a very rough spot right now, and I was thinking about doing a video about this, explaining it clearly, but with the work they're doing, maybe not, we'll see. TLDR, with the way the new system works, remember that it is only on customs, woods, streets, and factory. Every other map has not been finished yet. It does not have the new audio, technically. I don't know if the fixes described here are to only fix what we have now or add new areas as well. It seems like it might, but we'll get to that in a second. So hopefully it's both, but we'll see. TLDR, for those that don't know, the Oculus sound system in-game isn't a blanket fix to the sound, at least not entirely. It doesn't always affect the entire location. It's based off of objects placed in engine to give off the correct sound for that specific environment. That house, that hallway, that room, that side street. It's very specific. I'm hoping to get some proper info from BSG on this soon, but just so you know, for now, it's on customs, woods, streets, and factory, and even then, just because you're on that map, it doesn't mean the emitters, or whatever they're actually called, sorry, I'm not an expert, I don't actually know what these things would be called, might not be 100% correct in that area. They likely mainly focus on the hot spots, I would think, like dorms on customs, 3-story offices on factory, the lumberyard on woods, and Pinewood Hotel or the car dealership on streets. It's probably a lot more, but I would say it's a safe bet that those areas have a lot of time put into them, as I'm sure they would have started with those areas or spots first because they are the hottest spots on the maps. Now, they specifically mentioned the adjustments to sound positioning, footstep noise, and incorrect headset settings. The sound positioning is what I was talking about with these emitters, or again, whatever they're called, on very specific locations. I'm sure many needed to be adjusted and likely more added. They specifically mentioned tweaking additional aspects of Oculus audio on all locations, so hey, maybe they're adding more maps, but at least expect some improvements on what we have now. The footstep noise could be what people were talking about for the sneaking, where if you had a headset on in-game, you were not able to be snuck up on. It did not matter how slow someone was moving, you could still hear them. So whether it be the incorrect headset settings or the footstep noises, or probably both, we're going to see some changes. It seemed like that could be connected to leveling covert movement, but maybe not. We'll see. Another thing about binaural audio is the hit to your frame rate. I, as well as many others, don't have binaural audio on because of the effect that it has on your performance, so maybe it will improve that as well. Either way, we should be seeing a lot of changes to these audio systems that we have in place right now, and hopefully a lot of fixes to the issues. A DLSS update is mentioned here. If you're one of the people struggling with frames and or performance in-game, I urge you to test your settings in offline around DLSS and FSR. It could help you out a lot. Personally, I do not mess with those too much, so I wouldn't know the best setup, but just mess around, do a bit of mix and match, a bit of A/B testing, and you'll see what works for you. Just remember, your frames and performance will always be a bit to sometimes significantly better in offline mode, so just keep that in mind. The new player grouping system that BSG talked about ahead of this patch, and I was surprised wasn't in on day one, is mentioned here. There should be a new system where you will stay grouped up with your group through raids, and you'll be able to see what people are using before you even get to the lobby now. At least that's how BSG have described it. There might be a couple other things added to it. It's been a while since they talked about it, and I didn't expect to see it here, so I'm not up to date on it. But basically, it should work like pretty much any other multiplayer game where you're going to have that group, and you're going to stay in that group no matter what happens. This will be interesting, and the first major change since they've added the ability to see each other in the first place in the lobby. Loads of bugs have popped up with the gym and the hideout, where again, if you're getting the one where it auto-clicks for you, turn off NVIDIA overlay if you have that on. That has fixed it for a lot of people. Hopefully they'll address that as well as a few of the others in this fix. They mentioned general bug fixes around the stash, hideout, and UI, fixing issues with certain weapons. Some people could modify them in ways that you shouldn't be able to, so hopefully that's fixed. They mentioned geometry and lighting fixes for streets. The only one that I was worried about was the one where you could fall through that wall in the yellow building behind the car dealership. Hopefully that one is fixed. And then at the end of the post, they of course, as usual, tack on the several other changes and fixes as well. So we'll see what other kind kind of improvements we get here soon. While we're on here talking about fixes and updates and stuff like that, when I was off, I did forget to mention there was a massive ban wave. However, with how this stuff works, we're not sure if that was a third of the people cheating or if it was most of them. It for sure was not all of them, but it does show that BSG are still pushing towards stopping the epidemic that is cheating in the game, and I did want to mention that. No dates were given for when these fixes and changes would occur, so soon TM as usual, and welcome to Tarkov on that one, but I doubt that they would say anything unless it was actually close, like a week or two away, so again, soon TM. But that is all for now, guys. If you like this video, there's a button for that. Subscribe for more like it, or jump in the comments and let me know what you think. Follow me on Twitter or join the Discord. Things are going to get spicy here on the Discord real soon, so check that out, link below. If you like what I do with Tarkov, chances are you're going to like what I do with other games, so check those channels out right here. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a nice day. See you guys.